Hey everybody, and welcome back to another weekend roundup. Today we're going to take a look at all the mods newly released in the Giants Mod Hub for the week of December 2nd to December 6th, 2019. Now this was another very busy week in the Giants Mod Hub. We had a total of 36 new mods get released this week, and that's not even counting the mods that were updated. Let's just go ahead and jump over to the Mod Hub and take a look briefly at all the mods that were both newly updated and released this week. And then we'll come back here and go over all of the newly released mods in a bit more detail. So here we are actually on page 3, if you sort by latest mods in the Mod Hub. And we ended last week with the Bry Fieldmaster 20. So all of the mods past this point are going to be new for the week. We had an update to the season's Strophosphere Geo. The contractor mod was updated, as well as the Super Bison Z056, the SIP Orion 25, Vanderstand Rapid A600 800 seater, and the Metaltech DB pack. Those were all updated this week. Now let's go ahead and jump to page 2. And on page 2, we have, continuing the updates, we have the ITS Drive Lanner. Then we had the Primoz Outback map get updated. We have the newly released Seasons Geo for South Mavoria, the PR10 by FSSA modding. This is a manure spreader, was new released. The Silos display that was very popular, at least in my opinion, in Farm Sim 17 has made its way back in Farm Sim 19 by GTX. We have a metal cow barn, the Lizard SIROCCO, a safety bumper was newly released this week, as well as a water and milk trailer, Strautmann VS 2004 manure spreader. Then we had an update for the Seasons Geo of Saxony Hills, the Silagefork, British hay barn set was released this week. A Manure And TMR Pallet pack was released this week, as well as slurry and digestate storage. Silo storage set. Now this is a really cool mod. This is going to be exciting to use in game for sure. Then we had updates to the Raba Steiger series tractor, legal TMK 266 bull trailer. We had newly released Global Company CCM mill, our corn cob mix mill. So this mod came out, the corn cob mix mod came out a few weeks ago, and now we have a Global Company factory that will allow us to basically mix and make up our CCM mix without having to use a modded overloader. We have the riding haul. We have a Zetor Proxima tractor got newly released, as well as the Amazon ED pack. The Lizard 2500R slurry spreader was released this week, and then the Euro Tunnel pack by DD Mod Passion was updated. Go ahead and jump over to the front page of the Mod Hub. We're up to down to 24 mods either released or updated. Then we have an update to the dynamic grain storage, Rudolph DK280W trailer, Sipma Z230 round baler was newly released, as well as a Global Company square bale storage placeable. We have the POM Brodnica Duo Sigma is a mouthful for me there. Cedar pack got released this week, as well as the Deutz-Fahr Condimaster tedder. We have the Rau Spiram cultivator got released this week, as well as the Fiat 80 series tractor. The Naus potato storage box was released this week, and the Onessa map was updated this week, as well as the multi-filling station. The Hardy and Kuhn interactive sprayers were updated this week. And then we have a potato washer. The Global Company potato washer got newly released this week, as well as a small shed, a modded Ponsse Scorpion King. This one's kind of interesting. Cut logs up to, I think, 23 meters in length, this thing. Then we have the Lizard SunCut pack was newly released. The Walla, this map was updated. And then we have the debut for Farm Sim 19 of Sussex Farms by Alien Jim and Shamrock Valley by Oxygen David. Those are all newly released this week. and this is available for console. So when this came out, Shamrock Valley for Farm Sim 19 came out late in the Farm Sim 19 or 17 cycle and just didn't make its way into console. But here it is in console for Farm Sim 19. Now, I did a dedicated Ferguson Pack mod review. You're going to be able to find that in my mod reviews playlist. And then we have the Kirovets K-700A was newly released this week. And then the Rostselmash Pack and the Deutz-Fahr TG 615 cultivator. These were part of the Agrotechnic not conference, but convention, I guess, that were now released as part of the, I guess, weeks before Christmas. So that is basically a high-level summary of all the mods that were either newly released or updated this week. Let's take a look at the mods testing thread, and this is the list of mods that are currently in testing. They are quite a bit. Some of these I think I've seen before, so there's a fair bit of updates. Again, we still have seasons in testing for PC and for console, but look at this number, guys. We are down to just 60 mods pending testing. Now, either they are just pounding these things out and kicking a whole bunch back, or maybe folks are just not submitting them as frequently as they were previously, because we are getting down here to the end of the year, and we do know Giants is going to take a few weeks off. Maybe folks are just not submitting mods at this point, hoping that that any mods that are submitted will work their way into the queue. Mods that have not yet been submitted maybe are going to be held back until Giants gets back in 2020. So with that, let's go ahead and jump back into game and get started taking a closer look at all the mods that were newly released Giants Mod Hub for the week of December 2nd through December 6th. And first up, we're going to take a look at the Zetor Proxima. This is a tractor that can be found under the small tractors category. We have the Zetor Proxima, $65,000 to buy this, 87 base horsepower. Got a choice of rim color and main color, so let's take a look at that. We have gray, red, white, or black. Then we have the main color in red or white. Main color is changing just the top of the cab there. We have the standard configuration, front hydraulic, Trelleborg tires in standard, wheel weights, wide tires, wide with weights, narrow tires, standard 2, wheel weights 2, wide 2, wide with weights number 2, second variant of the narrow tires, standard 3, weights wide, wide with weights, narrow, and back to standard. Go to Nokian, we have communal, communal 2, communal 3. Oh, we're talking about different rims here. That's what we've got going on. We've got different rim options. Then we have weights. 150 kilogram weight, 250 kilogram weight, 350, 450, back to none. So I'm guessing if we go to here, yeah, the weight option goes away. And we have the choice of forestry. So if we go with 3-point, we obviously don't have the ability to put weights on. Put a forestry cage on. Kind of an interesting forestry cage with cables on the front. We have the roll bar and then the mesh on the side windows. The Proxima 90 at 87 horsepower. The 90 Power still at 87 horsepower. Proxima 100 at 96 horsepower. Power, we get different logos, but still 96 horsepower. 110 Power, 107 horsepower. 120 Power, 117 horsepower, and back to Proxima 90. Get front loader attacher, yes or no. And we can get front fenders, yes or no. So as configured, the 120 Power, we're looking at $86,000. $4,386 to lease. 860 per day and 1806 per operating hour. This mod is by Arxon. I believe I might have forgotten to mention that. And this mod is also available for all platforms. You have illuminated dash. You have animated gear shifter there, and foot throttle, clutch, and brakes are all animated. That's pretty cool. Take a look. Don't have any mouse controls. That's fine. You have 2 beacons. Take a look at our lights. We have our first stage lights, second stage lights in the rear, and then third stage lights front. We have brake lights and 4-way flashers left and right. Guys, that is the Zetor Proxima, again by Arxon, and is available for all platforms. Next up, we have the Fiat 80 series tractor. It is also going to be found here under small tractors. We have the Fiat 80 series, $15,000 to buy. This mod is by JDM96, and it is also available for all platforms. Tractor starts out at 58 horsepower with a choice of main color. I guess the Fiat orange or brown color. We can go with standard configuration, 350 kilogram front weight, 750 kilogram front weight. We have decals Fiat Type 1, Type 2. So we basically move the engine number from the front, or the model number from the front, to under the Fiat. We have design standard with beacon light or without. We have the 580. We have the 680 at 68 horsepower, 780 at 78 horsepower, 880 at, you guessed it, 88 horsepower, and back to the 580. Then we have front loader attacher, yes or no. Standard wheel setup, narrow tires, back to standard. So $15,000 as configured, $765 to lease, $150 per day, and $315 per operating hour. Doesn't look like we have any type of illuminated dash. We have animated gauges. We have an animated foot throttle and brakes. Other than that, a fairly basic interior. No mouse controls on this. Check our front lights. First stage, second stage, and third. You have brake lights and flashers. This is set up as a 2-wheel drive tractor. Let's just see if that is indeed the case. That is maybe not the case. Front tractors are, interesting enough, going backwards. They shouldn't be going at all. Now that one's not spinning. Alright, so I guess it is set up as a 2-wheel drive tractor. There you go, guys. That is the Fiat 80 series by JDM96. And again, it is available for all platforms. Next up, we have the Ponsse Scorpion King MRF edition. So this mod is by Mr. Forshnetic. Yeah, okay, it's in the lower third down there. This mod is available for all platforms. So we're going to find it here under Forestry Machines. Of course, we have the Ponsse Scorpion King, the base Scorpion King, $440,000. Then we have the MRF edition Scorpion King, $440,000 also. The choice of main color. Get it in any kind of color we want. rim color, any kind of color we want. Then we have the choice of Trelleborg twin radial 680, 7010 radials, forestry 428 SBs, 422 SBs, E404s, then back to the twin radial 680s. We get it in the chains, the wheel Pro Grip F, Pro Grip U, Echo Track, Evo Baltic, EX, Kovacs, the Magnum. Then we can get the engine Scorpion King or the Scorpion King MRF edition at 385 horsepower. So it adds just about 99 horsepower to the engine with the MRF edition. So as configured, we're looking at $452,300, $23,067 to lease, $4,523 per day, and $9,498 per operating hour. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time using this thing because, well, Scorpion King is a Scorpion King at heart. But I do want to show off some interesting kind of add-ons to this. You can see the cut length is starting at 0.5 meters. I believe the default cut length starts at 1 meter and works its way up to 8. Well, with this mod, we have 1/2 meter, 1 meter, 1.5 meter, 2 meter, and if you look, you can go all the way up in half-meter increments. We're at 13 meters, 18 meters, 23 meters, 23.5, and 24 meters, 24.5, 25, and then back to 1/2 meter. So we can cut logs up to 25 meters in length. This particular mod. Left controls up and down, moves the main arm, left and right, flings the whole cab. Right mouse button, left and right, raises and lowers the extends the arm, up and down, raises and lowers the second arm. Left and right mouse button, left and right, rotates the head, up and down, opens and closes, and of course you can do the same thing with B. So, and then center mouse button, left and right, tilts cutter head. And we can pretty much expect the rest of the mod to pretty much be just like the base game Scorpion King. There you go, guys. That is the Ponsse Scorpion King MRF edition by Mr. Forsetnik. Yeah. A bit hard for me to say. At any rate, next up we've got the Kirovets K-700A by SFM Modding, Feet, BM Modding, Feet, and Maru US. Find that here under large tractors. Oops, sorry, medium tractors. You have the K-700A, $79,500, 220 horsepower tractor. Thing is a beast for being just 220 horsepower. The choice of main color and then rim color. And we have standard wheels, wide tires, twins, and back to standard. So as configured, we're looking at $81,000, $4,131 to lease, $810 per day, and $1,701 per operating hour. Now, I picked an awful looking orange. This thing is beat up. Just the starting texture, it's kind of a little bit beat up. A lot of flat, matte looking colors here, not a lot of gloss going on. Take a look on the inside. Got a pretty angular steering wheel there. You have animated foot throttle, brake, mouse controls on this. Check our first stage lights. Second stage lights are in the back. And third stage lights are at the front. You have beacons. There's an articulated tractor. Have drive shafts in the middle. They're rotating. That's nice to see. Flashers. Here are the blinkers. Kind of the PTO drive shaft here on the rear. And then take a look. Am I seeing this correct? That the 3-point hitch is actually swinging? I think it is. That's pretty cool. 3-point is actually on a kind of a pivot that actually can swing. You have an animated clapper on the exhaust. There you go, guys. That is the Kirovets K-700A, again by SFM Modding Feet, BM Modding Feet, and Marus. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Rostselmash Pack. At least that's how I pronounce it. I'm not Russian. I'm not European. I'm American. I'm dumb, and I don't know how to pronounce this stuff. I pronounce it the way I want to. This mod is by Giant Software and is available for all platforms. We're going to find this here under Harvesters. And of course, we have the in-game Nova 330 at 4,500 liter storage capacity. Then we have the RSM 161 at 10,500 liter storage capacity. Both of these harvesters are really, really nice. I think they get underutilized by most players, but they are really nice harvesters. And then we have the Tourum 770 at $349,000, 12,300 liter storage capacity. That is basically right there in line with, well, it's right between the RSM 161 and the S790 John Deere, as far as grain hopper size goes. Might be one of the larger harvesters that they manufacture. We have the choice of Midas Standard, Trelleborg Standard, Michelin Standard. Not a lot of tire choices there. 520 horsepower, $349,500. As I said, $17,824 to lease, $3,495 per day, $7,339 per operating hour. Take a look over here under headers and see if we have a corresponding. We do. We have a PowerStream 900 that is 9 meter working with, $56,500. Compare that to the other in-game header. We have the Draper Stream 900. Now this one is cool because it's one of the smaller headers that basically has wheels on it, so it's its own header trailer. That doesn't appear to be the choice with this one. You're going to need an actual header trailer for that particular header. Go ahead and get that. No configuration options. $2,881 to lease, $565 per day, and $1,186 per operating hour. Interesting spot to put the exhaust right there and smack dab in the middle. You have an animated gauge there. We've got animated hand throttle. Foot brakes down there, they are not animated in any way. We have reverse backup beeper. Radio does come on, so I'd say that the dash is illuminated. It's just kind of hard to see. If you unfold this thing, beacons, first stage lights, just at the bottom there. Second stage, we can have some rear work lights, and third stage lights. Flashers, brake lights, reverse lights. I'm going to drive this up to the field because I want to do a little bit of a harvest with it just to see what the animation looks like on the swath drop and then the spread on that. All right, so let's turn it on. There's the swath dropping animation. Change it. Spread. Do we have the animated belts or anything? We do indeed. You can see inside there, kind of beneath the panel. You have some animated pulleys and belts spinning around in there. Lots of cool details. The air cleaner has kind of a little sweep spinning around there to keep it clean. There you go, guys. That is the Rostselmash POM 770. It's a Rostselmash Pack, Smash Pack. By Giant Software, and it is available for all platforms. Up, we're going to take a look at the Manure and TMR Pallet by Mr. Hector. Run down here. I go to Objects and then Pallets, and we have the Total Mixed Rations Pallet, $800 to buy for $2,100 of TMR. There you go. Really nice looking textures on these pallets. I like how some of these bags are not quite on the pallet quite right. Sticking out a little bit. It gives you the illusion that this may have been palletized by hand. Then we have the manure pallet, $100 to buy for $2,100 of bagged animal manure. Perfect to fertilize any small field, or if you've got one of those placeable greenhouses or something else that takes manure, this would be a really cool option, especially if you didn't already have animals. Take a look at the textures on those. I do happen to have a little bit of background on these. Apparently, Mr. Hector was going to and had uploaded a pallet pack that included all kinds of pallets. Basically, he had seed pallets, fertilizer pallets, lime pallets, pretty much anything that you could palletize. There was a pallet for it. So there was probably like chicken food pallet, pretty much anything. But apparently, Giants kicked back, basically saying that there were other pallet mods in the mod hub, and basically what we were left with were these two pallets because there weren't manure pallets in the mod hub or total mixed ration pallets in the mod hub. So I have to say I'm not really keen on this idea that, well, there's already other pallets out there that do seed and fertilizer, so we're not going to do that. You've got to have unique pallets, because what that means is instead of having one big mod pack that was all the possible pallets I might ever want in just one mod, now I've got to activate 3 or 4 different mods in order to get the full pallet pack that I would get with just a single pallet pack if someone had been able to upload and combine all of those functionalities into one custom textured pallet pack. That is the TMR and Manure Pallet by Mr. Hector, and it is available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Safety Bumper by Smitty. This mod is also available for all platforms and comes in all kinds of configuration options. We're going to find it here in the store under Tools and then Weights. Roll over here, we have the Safety Bumper, $3,500 for 2,500 kilograms. This attaches to the front 3-point of your tractor. And I have to say, it looks really nice. This metal cast look to it, but I really have to wonder the functionality of this versus some of the other safety bumpers that are out there, specifically the one that basically is a configuration option on tractors that basically allows you to still make use of a 3-point connection. You can get this with sticker no, get a fence sticker, John Deere, New Holland, Valtra, Deutz-Fahr, JCB, Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Kloss, Steyr, Case IH, Michelin, King of the Road, best tractor driver ever, still plays with tractors, and then back to none. Go with King of the Road, $4,300 for that one, $219 to lease, 43 per day, and 90 per operating hour. We are. Go ahead and get, let's say, get our Zetor, and we're going to plug this into the back of the tractor since we don't have a front 3-point. Oh, this thing causes this poor little tractor to squat down. This does have front lights on it. Flashers. Left and right blinkers. So it is a really cool mod nonetheless. But I have to say, for me, I think I'm going to keep with the other safety bumper simply because it's a configuration option and it doesn't basically make me forego the front 3-point. That is a really nice heavy weight. You need one of those. So next up, we're going to take a look at the Silagefork by FNB Modding. This mod is also available for all platforms, and we're going to find it here under front loaders. We have the Flegel Silagefork, $1,800, 3,000 liter capacity, no configuration options, $91 to lease, 18 per day, and 37 per operating hour. Go ahead and get arms. And did I? No, I don't. Go ahead and get a tractor with front loader arms. I want to see how well this connects. Oh, we got a fork full of manure because it was too close to the manure pallet. And it went ahead and filled up with poo. Now you can see what it kind of looks like with some manure in it. Move it up and down. It does stick to the front loader arms quite well. It doesn't have a delay or a lag to it. That's good to see. Over here, and let's empty that out. I'm just curious, will this take TMR too? No, okay. We'll just move that out of the way. So there you go, guys. That is the Silagefork by FNB Modding. And it is also available for all platforms. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Blizzard SunCut Pack by FSH Modding, and it is also available for all platforms. You're going to find that here under tools and then headers, not header trailers. We have the Blizzard SunCut 876 5.7 meters. This is a sunflower header, so it is basically the equivalent of one of these Capello Helianthus headers. 5.7 meters, 5.7 meters. Just has a little different configuration. It has basically foldable row prop cones to it. I guess that's what you call those. $1,147 to lease, $225 per day, 472 operating hour. This, we're going to go ahead and our harvester back. And something else I want to do with respect to this harvester is just see if maybe it includes a header trailer, something I didn't look at earlier. So it does not, but the SunCut does indeed include a header trailer. $12,000 on that, $612 per to lease, $120 per day, and $252 per operating hour. Let's see, let's unfold the header. Go down. Pull the harvester so we can turn this thing on. Yep. We do have some animated take-in chains and auger on that. Fold the header back up. And see if we can't put this on the header trailer. I'm wondering if it goes on like this. Go. Doesn't look like that header trailer has any sort of locking on it. Anything like jump into place or anything. And there you go, guys. That is the Blizzard SunCut pack by FSH Modding. So the header trailer really does have a really nice tight turning radius due to that front dolly. Of course, it is a front dolly trailer. That does mean it may be a little bit difficult to back up, especially with such a short tongue on that thing. If it had a longer tongue on the front, it'd be a bit easier to back up. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Naus potato box storage and turnable pallet fork. That is quite a name. This mod is by Dutch Modding Incorporated, JD7530, Chris 2020 Normandy, and Interfa. Mod is available for all platforms, and we're going to find some of it here under front loaders. We have the DMI Metalwork X box turner. Has a choice of main color, and we have the attacher type front loader, telehandler. Going to keep front loader because that's what we have. $8,800 if you change the paint, $442 to lease, $88 per day, and $184 per operating hour. Next thing we're going to find is under you have the Naus potato storage box, $68 by the box. Comes in two different sizes. We have 1,350 liters real capacity, or we could go with FS capacity of 2,700 liters. Go ahead and get one of those. And of course, the main purpose of this mod is to play with potatoes as realistically as possible. So in real life, potatoes, when they are harvested, can be collected into these boxes and then transported around in these boxes. So we have this potato box kind of fork, which is pretty cool. We can left click, standard front loader commands, and then basically right click will then tilt the whole box forward if you're going to empty it. And then we have left and right mouse button. We'll open and raise and lower that right there. So let's go ahead and kind of put this down. Slide it in there. Left and right mouse button. And left and right will raise and lower that. And basically we have the box. It's not locked in there, so it is free floating. Go ahead and you can't fill it because it's not connected to us. Can't use the easy dev controls to fill this up, but in theory we could fill these up at the field and then place them on a flatbed, strap them down, and then when we want to use them we can just pick them up like this. Right mouse button, left to basically tip. So now here you can see that the boxes are kind of lagging behind the forks a little bit, and that's why I wanted to test that manure fork. Kind of lag a little bit there. Kind of an interesting deal. But basically this is so you can play with potatoes and maybe be a little bit more realistic in how you handle potatoes on kind of a smaller scale. Guys, again, that is the Naus Naus potato storage box and Turnable pallet fork by Dutch Modding Incorporated, JD7530 Chris, 20mm Normandy, and Enter FA. That mod is available for all platforms. Next up, we have the Rau Spiram, Spiram, by Palo 5090R. This is a cultivator. I find that here under Tools and then Cultivators. We have the in-game Rau Polymag for $7,000, 100 horsepower requirement, 3 meter working width. And then we have the Rau Spiram, 3 meter working width, 9 miles per hour, and it is also 100 horsepower. Just a little bit different design. Go ahead and give this thing a little drag through the dirt. Fiat doesn't have the power to do it. We're going to have to use Zetor. And this mod is available for all platforms. Check here. Let's throw some wear on this thing, so we can see what it looks like worn down. Pretty good. See what the Zetor looks like worn as well. Go give this thing a drag through the dirt. There you go, 3 meter working width. Does what it does. We've got some nice basic particle animations there along the cultivator tines, some nice dust kicking up in the back. The tractor seems to be handling it real well. Again, that is the Rau Spiram cultivator by Palo 5090R. And it is available for all platforms. Next up, we've got another cultivator. We have a Treffler TG 615 by Giant Software. Mod is available for all platforms. Again, we're going to find it here under cultivators. Here we have the Treffler TG 615, $49,500 to buy, 6.2 meter working width. Thing looks mighty massive. This thing does look like it has dynamic hoses. Thank goodness. No configuration options on this. $2,524 to lease, $495 per day, and $1,039 per operating hour. So this thing is going to require 200 horsepower. We're going to get the Kirovets out. A nice looking mod, as I would expect with respect to Giants. So just like the other one, let's go ahead and throw full wear on it. See what it looks like. There's the Kirovets with full wear. And here is the Treffler full wear. You see a whole lot of wear, a little bit of wear there on the tines. Really not seeing a whole ton of wear on this one. A little bit of wear on those wheels. Maybe a little bit on the sides. Very subtle, for sure. All right, let's see this thing unfold. Drop it down. Looks like this has air brakes. Check the animations. Again, we have nice particle animations on the cultivators, on the roller wheels, and the little scratch tines on the back. This little dust going on there. Nice wheel dirt on the front wheels. This tractor must not have hose hookups, so that's why we're not seeing the dynamic hose connections. Back up. There you go, guys. That is the Treffler TG 615 cultivator by Giant Software. And it again is available for all platforms. All right, next up we have the Amazon ED pack. This is by Mifu FS, and it is once again available for all platforms. We've got a lot of mods this week that are available for console and PC. So we're going to find this here under planters. We have the ED 3000 and the ED 4500. So we have 3 meter and 4.5 meter working widths. Other than that, it's pretty much the same seeder, just a little bit bigger model. Bigger one here requires 150 horsepower. No configuration options. $1,785 per day or to lease. $350 per day. $735 per operating hour. Or 150 horsepower. Yeah, I don't know if I've got that in this tractor or not. We're going to go ahead and give it a try. This does not fold up, so do be aware that this one doesn't fold up. I'm going to use it on a field or in a road, on a road that is narrow, has traffic, and you might not want to use the 4.5 meter variant. You might prefer to use the 3 meter variant, which should work a bit better on narrow roads. But I am kind of glad to see a 6-row planter. Something that is, in my opinion, was kind of sorely missing from the base game was a nice mid-sized planter. So this does do your standard planting crops of corn, sunflowers, soybeans, sugar beets, and cotton. Turn it on. Oh yeah, we got plenty of power. Plenty of power to put this in the ground. Pretty standard animations. Nice spinning discs and everything. Don't have any sort of hose hookups or cable hookups, which is a little disappointing because we do have lights on the back. Would have been nice to have seen power connector dynamically connect when you hook it up. And basically whatever's driving the blower on this, whatever is basically putting the seed in the ground. That is the Amazon ED pack by Mifu FS. And again, it is available for all platforms. Alright, next up we've got the POM Brodnica Duo Sigma. This is a cultivator by Brodnica 17 in Austria. It is available for PC only. Check us out under cultivators. We have the Sigma SW right here, $9,800 to buy. 3-meter working width. We get the tubular 540 by 9, cross kill, packer. Get the cross kill variant. That is $10,070. $700, $545 to lease, $107 per day, and $224 per operating hour. And then we have under planters, no. I have to say I didn't look at this earlier. We have the Jotna N for Sigma SW, $13,000. This is just the planting kind of attachment to this. 450 liter capacity, 700 liter capacity, $13,000 to buy, $663 to lease, $130 per day, and $130 and $273 operating hour. Looks like we need to connect the cultivator to the tractor. And then we'll connect the seeding module to the cultivator. Like so. No hose connections or anything, but then again, there's no power. We hit in. Ladder comes down, the front lifts up. This is filled with seed. And since this is a seeder, it's going to do our normal seeding crops. We have wheat, barley, oat, canola, soybeans, oilseed radish, grass. We have the options to do our ridge markers. Completely drew a blank on what those things were. Put it down. Turn it on. And now this gets its power to seed by that big wheel on the rear. As that rotates, it's basically driving the whole seeder operation. course, you can use this in just cultivator only mode, like so if you should wish. But you can't just seed. You have to cultivate and seed. If you're going to do that, then you might as well have the cultivator attached also. So guys, that is the POM Brodnica Duo Sigma by Brodnica 17 in Austria. And again, it is available for PC only. All right, next up we have the Deutz-Fahr Condimaster 7621 Tedder. This mod is by Metz, M-E-T-T-E-S. Find this under Tedders. And it looks very, very similar to the Vicon Fanex 604. Same price. Deutz-Fahr, we have the choice of main color. We have green. Well, we have Deutz Green Hell, Deutz Green Standard, and Deutz Green 3. Go ahead and lease that up. $561 to lease, $110 per day, and $231 per operating hour. Get our Fiat involved in this show. And we do happen to still have some grass down in our grass testing area that we can see if we can ted up. How well this works. So no hose hookups. That's a little bit of disappointment since this does clearly have hydraulics. We raise and lower. We do have a PTO hookup. Also have lights on the rear. So again, we should have hydraulic and power connections. A little hard to see the grass because we've got grown grass here, but work. Put it down. And get the town leasing or tedding. On, let's drive it through this giant heap of grass. There you go. That works really good. There's the Deutz-Fahr Condimaster 7621. 60 horsepower requirement by METTES, and this mod is available for all platforms. And it works pretty darn good. I was a little curious what it would do when we ran it through that giant pile of grass, and it just took it like a champ. All right, next up we've got the Sipma Z230. This is by Zetor Proxima. This mod is available for PC only. This is a small round baler. We're going to find it here in the shop under Baling Technologies. We have the New Holland Roll Belt 150, $49,000. Then we have the Z230 for just $20,000. Have an older school looking round baler, the choice of main color and design color. Design color is changing our cover there. The choice of standard or wide tires. So as configured, we're looking $20,250 to buy, $1,032 to lease, $202 per day, and $425 per operating hour. go ahead and take this down to that same area and drive around and just see about picking up a bale and unloading it. It does have dynamic hoses, but what is up with that? This is a standard in-game tractor. PO did not patch. Try another tractor. Same thing, the PTOs are not attaching. Hold on, let me check. So, look here, guys. So here is the mod in the mod hub. So here's the only picture that shows it really decent angle of it connected to a tractor. And it looks like it's connected, but it's clearly not connecting for me. Not connecting at all. So if you guys have tried this thing, let me know what your experience is. Did it connect for you? This is a modded tractor from this week. And then the case was the standard in-game tractor. You have lights. Lower it, turn it on, the animation's there. Keep building the bale in there. Oh, the bale, I mean, it is spinning mighty fast, and then it just comes out. So there you go, that is the Sipma Z230 baler. Perkins, and it is available for PC only. Next up, we have the Lizard SIROCCO. Now, this is a basically it is a bale shredder, I believe, by 7.6 Max, and we're going to find it here under Tools and then Animals. We have the SIROCCO, $5,100. This is a forage mixer. Okay, TMR mixer. So let's go ahead and take a look. Oops. Cut in the shop. $260 to lease, 51 per day, and 107 per operating hour. Mod is available for PC and console. We all know how these mixers work. We don't really need to mix up a batch of TMR. Now the interesting thing is this has a capacity of just 4,000 liters. So just one bale of any of the mix will basically fill this thing. So really, I guess if you're going to use this, you're going to need to fill it with loose material. Because if you fill it with with just a bale, then it becomes more of a bale shredder than a TMR mixer. But you can definitely see from the F1 menu, we have TMR mixing. Basically, let's say you back this up to, say, the silage. Then you can raise and lower this. Left mouse button, left and right, to kind of scoop some in. Do the same with loose hay and loose straw. And of course, you've got yourself a little small TMR mixer. Right mouse button up and down will raise and lower the chute on that. X to raise and lower it. So you want to lower it when you're trying to scoop up the loose material. And X, you want to raise it when you want to drive it around. There you go, guys. That is the Lizard SIROCCO TMR mixer by 76 Max. Next up, we have the Lizard 2500R slurry spreader by 4D Modding. So we're going to find that here under Slurry Technologies, Slurry Tanks. And this is basically a rebranded Abbey slurry tank that 4D Modding put out for PC players over on his Facebook. So $18,750 to buy. All kinds of configuration options on this. We have choice of rim colors. Then we have the choice of main color. We have wheel brand Midas, Michelin, Trelleborg, and then under Trelleborg we have several wheel options. TM 1000 710-60 R38. We have the T404. We have the 750. We have the twin radial 750. And we have the back to the TM 1000. We have Nokian tires, Midas tires, Michelin. We have the Axo-Bib 650, Mega Bib 650, the Mach Bib 650. Back to Trelleborg. Then we have decals painted or galvanized. Then we have no registration. We have some plates on the back. We have, yes, Irish plates, Italy plates, Germany plates, UK plates, France, Netherlands, Denmark, and then Idaho, USA plates. Back to no registration. Go ahead and lease this thing up. We're not going to bother with putting slurry in it or anything. Oh, look. That one has PTO hookups. We have hose hookups, electrical hookups. And check it out, we've got a really cool animation there on the PTO. So we've got a little PTO stand, and when we connect it, we can see the PTO stand just fold down out of the way. Pretty cool. No mouse options on this. So there you go, guys. That is the Lizard 2500R slurry spreader by 4D Modding. Next up, we have the PRT10 manure spreader by FSSA Modding, and it's going to be available for PC only. We're going to find that here under manure spreaders. Got the PRT10, $8,330 to buy, 9 meter working width, 11,200 liter storage capacity, with a choice of rim color, main color, and color ribbon. That's going to be, I think, our rear there. We have 11,200 capacity, 18,300 capacity. Looks pretty cool. And FSA, they do a really good job with making these wires, look worn, beat up. Protective board. No. Protective cover. Yes or no. You can really get this thing run down if you took the covers off. $8,780 as configured, $447 to lease, 87 per day, and 184 operating hour. Get this one, I think it's got a little bit more horsepower. See, the PTO is kind of strapped up there to the side. We'll hook up to it. It's unattached and lowered. Put some nice wear patterns on the PTO. We have hoses to connect. Go ahead and take this thing down and give it a drag through the field. Turn it on, see what kind of animations we got going on. I suspect you're going to see all kinds of really cool animations with the chains. And I want to see if that PTO shaft rotates. With part of that paint missing, we should really be able to see it rotate quite well. Turn it on. Not rotating the PTO shaft. We do have animations on the chains. Although the rotations appear to be slightly off on the lower chains, gives it a kind of a strange look to it. And again, a pretty narrow working width here. I think it said just 9 meters. Interesting how it's pulling it down from the middle. There you go, guys. That is the PRT10 manure spreader by FSSA Modding. I know we've been at the video for quite a while. We've got just 2 more implements to take a look at, and then we're going to split this into part 2, where we'll look at the placeables and the Seasons Geo that came out this week. So next up, we've got another manure spreader. We have the Strautmann BS 2004 by Mifu FS. In here under manure spreaders, BS 2004, 20,000 liter storage capacity, in Trelleborg standard tires, wide tires, let's set a wide, 3 sets of wide tires. We have Michelin standard, wide, back to Trelleborg, $1,361 to lease, 267 per day, and 560 per operating hour. This has a working width of 15 meters. A little bit bigger working width than the other manure spreader for sure. Make one more trip down to our test field for the day. X, unfold this. Gonna have that drop gate raise up. Turn it on. Big old spread compared to the other one. Sure. There you go. That is the Strautmann BS 2004 manure spreader by Mifu FS, and it is available for all platforms. All right, next up we have the last trailer we're going to take a look at today. We have the Water Milk trailer by White Bull Modding, and it is available for all platforms and can be found once more under Animals. Here it is. We have the Water Milk trailer, $500, 2,000 liter storage capacity, pretty basic looking trailer, kind of a homemade looking job. Big stainless steel tank in the middle. We kind of got a little frame, little dual front dolly trailer, no configuration options, $500, $25 to lease, 5 per day, and 10 operating hour. Get a little Fiat involved again. Perfect for that farmer that's got just a little bit of cows, maybe a little bit of animals. Doesn't really need a whole lot of water. You have power hookups, like how we can see the homemade power lead running along the side of the trailer, just hooking up there. Given the short tongue, it might be a little difficult to back this thing up. There you go, guys. That is the Blizzard Water Milk trailer by White Bull Modding, and it is available for all platforms. Guys, that is going to do us for part 1 of this weekend's Weekend Roundup, where we take a look at all the new mods released in the Giants Mud Hub for the week of December 2nd through December 6th. Go ahead and check the playlist for part 2, which is going to cover the placeables and the Seasons Geo that came out this week. And until next time, happy farming.